Hello viewers, welcome to our TV program Faith and Astrology on Natural TV. Thank you very much for watching and following our social media accounts as well, and thank you very much for your messages, really. And today we will talk about lunar eclipse few days ago occurred in Cancer, and we will reveal the reflections and the explanations, the eclipse for the following 2-3 months. I kindly request you to listen to me very carefully, because I will give you very important information about the eclipse. Eclipse will be in Cancer. The eclipse has been occurred in Cancer a few days ago. But what is the message of the eclipse? So before starting the reflections on horoscopes, I will give you some information about the some reflections to the world. You know, the Cancer is emotional, but just opposite of Cancer, there are few planets in Capricorn: Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus. They are all together now in Capricorn. As you know, when Saturn started its travel through Capricorn, the world's economy and the world's business got narrowed because Capricorn is a business. Capricorn is world trade. It's reflecting this also. Just before Capricorn, you know, Saturn had traveled in Sagittarius, and it affected world tourism. And terrorists bombed many airports in between 2015 and 2017. Even in Turkey, they tried to break the democracy, but they couldn't succeed as well. And many bombings happened in at some airports in between 2015 and 2017, as you remember. But Sagittarius is okay since last year, since 2018. Sagittarius started healing. And also world tourism since 2018 is getting better at the moment. But this time, the world economy, the world business got narrowed just because of the decision of the United States sanctions, some customs disagreements between China, as you remember. This reflect the world economy, and even in some countries, including Turkey, affected just because of these disagreements in between 2017 and 2019-20. So, but this year, in 2020, Jupiter started its travel in Capricorn, and that's a good news for Capricorn as well, because the world trading is getting a little bit better. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's getting better because United States and China are getting much more closer to agreements at the moment. So, astrology is very important, giving messages us from the skies, and then we take some important signs from them. So we act and according to this, and also some of my friends also following astrology, investors, and they are doing investments according to astrological messages. Of course, the planets are not gods, but Islamic astrology, faith and astrology, we always underlined one thing: planets are not gods, planets are signs only, which are indicating to be careful on some specific places. So today I told you we were going to talk about eclipse, and starting from Aries, I'm going to give you information, the reflections of the lunar eclipse. Please listen to me very carefully. So the first horoscope is, Aries. I'm giving this information not only for Aries, also for ascendant Aries and stellium Aries, and the moon horoscope also. If your moon is in the Aries, so listen to me carefully, because when you have this kind of things on your birth chart, the message is brief for you about career. So you must be careful about your career. You can get some proposals, and you may think about choosing new job, new career. I request you not to be very impatient. So please be careful. Before taking any steps, you must think twice. Then you must take another step. So I request you to recite the name of Aziz and Muiz. Aziz, I explained also in my previous programs, Aziz and Muiz. Aziz is making you high and helping your highness also. Muizil is the just opposite of this name, is taking you down and you lose your position. To gain your position in the career, I request to recite and the sound in your praise with the Aziz and Muiz names. So you can say, Ya Aziz wal Muiz, Jalla Jalla. Please, my Lord, make my position in the better. So in better position. So I need better positions in my life. So I request you to make my life better in career. So when you are going to say this, of course, on Tuesday, in between 11 o'clock and 13 o'clock, you must recite the name Aziz and Muiz. And also Basit, Fattah, Latif asmas are very important at the time. So you must recite these names. So this is going to be great for you. I wish you a wonderful career, dear Aries. And the second horoscope is, as you know, Taurus. And any Taurus, Sun Taurus, or Ascendant Taurus, Solar Taurus, or Stellium in Taurus, or the Moon in the Taurus. So I kindly request you to recite the name of God and the Selam and Semi. Selam and Semi asmas are very important in between in the morning, 1 and 3 o'clock, Selam Esma, and you touch your heart, please, by your right hand, make a circle, and then you should say, Oh my Lord, I kindly request your Salam Esma. Salam means peace. And please give peace my heart. I need peace in my heart. I'm looking for peace, not happiness, because happiness is not forever, dear viewers. Peace is important. So you must want from God peace, because peace is always. But happiness, sometimes people are getting confused about happiness and peace. We should look for peace. Allah's name, He has no any name which is telling Allah is the happiness giver. No, there is no name like this. Allah has got a name which is giving, peace. So you should request peace from the Lord, especially Taurus in between 1 and 3 o'clock midnight. This is very important. And also Taurus people, they should they should start for their higher education at the university. If they have graduated from university, I request them to start higher degrees, that doctorate, these kind of things at the university. And you should keep on learning languages. If you know to speak English, please start learning German or French. If you know these languages, you can start Spanish language. So this is going to make you a special person, because the Taurus is going to be a little bit faster these days about learning languages, of course. And also, when we look at the Gemini, they are sometimes contradicted. Sometimes they are mourning in the morning. They have sulky face, but in the afternoon they are smiling, and it is a little bit difficult to foresee what they are going to do. And but the Gemini people, I request them to get up early in the morning, especially on Tuesday or Wednesday mornings, and reciting the name of Allah, Samet, Kerim, Ghani. Samet, Kerim, Ghani are important for calling the God. Samet means, as you know, he doesn't need anything, and the Kerim means the generous, the most generous God, and Ghani means the richest God. So we should wish, you know, increasing our income and finding new jobs as well. We should try, we can change our job these days, but I kind of request you to get up early in the morning, and the morning prayer is very important on Tuesday, Wednesday, and reciting these names are also important. And also you may get some information from if you have got courts and if you are waiting for the result of the courts, and any affair at courts, then this is going to get concluded as well. And Cancer, you know, this lunar eclipse will be, has been occurred on 20th degrees of Cancer. So the Cancer should size up everything about life. They should take a pen and they must write what they want in 2020. Language, marriage, happiness, peace, and career. They all should write what they want, and they try to realize it one by one. So they should get up early in the morning, Mondays, and they should recite the God with Rahman or-Rahim. Rahman is, you know, Rahim, most compassionate and the most merciful God. And if they call the God with these names, this is going to be great, really, because we should sound what we need from the Lord, and this is going to be very helpful. And then we will start living our praise. And I request Cancer to be careful about their marriages, because they have been living some problems about marriages since 2017. They shouldn't get divorced immediately. They should size up about relation between their spouse, wife, and if they are taking this decision logically, they should do divorcing or keeping the marriage. And this year, 2020, will be their final decision year about the message. It's okay, or it's finished, they're gonna say. Okay, when we look at the Leo is self-confident, and they are courageous about life, and they want to do something without waiting. And I kind of request you this year, Leo people, to keep calm. Especially they should get up morning, Sunday mornings, and when the sun is after sunrise, 40 minutes later, they should call the God again with Salam name, oh my Lord, and touching the heart and making a circle on the direction of the turning around of Kaaba, and saying, oh my Lord, please keep my heart in peace. I kindly request you about this. And also they should be careful in 2020 because they may have some health problems in sixth house. There are Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter together. They may have some problems about health, but they can solve it easily because Jupiter is giving good message about that. So for health, I request them when the sun goes down, after 30 or 40 minutes later, they should start reciting the names of Allah, Shafi and Hafiz. Ya Shafi wal Hafiz Jalla Jalaluhu, after the sun goes down on Sundays, then they should say about that, these names, and wishing health. They can start this also when the sun goes down on Saturdays, because in Islam a new day starts when the sun goes down. So the Sunday starts when the sun goes down on Saturdays. Yes. This time we are talking about Virgo. Virgo, they are generally silent. When they start criticize, they criticize beautifully. Generally they are right, but they should keep their criticisms by themselves. Or when they criticize someone, they should do this when they are alone with the person. And because no one likes criticism if there are some other people listening. Virgo people should be very careful about this. This is going to be very helpful and this is going to be very good for the friendship. Because this eclipse, lunar eclipse, will be on their 11th house. This is going to affect their friendship as well. They can finish one friendship, they can start a new friendship as well. They can change the people around of them. So in the morning time, especially Monday morning between 9 and 11, or Wednesday morning between 9 and 11, they can call the Lord of the universe with Qayyum and Kavi Asmas. This is going to make everything okay, but of course they should think twice before take an action. With Alim and Hakim, they shouldn't take any action without thinking, otherwise they can lose money or friendship or people around of them. So be careful, please. And Libra people, and what is the affection of Libra? I mean, this eclipse on Libra. I kind of request them to be very careful about career, like Aries. In between 11 and 13, they should call the God with Basit, Fattah, Latif. These names are going to be great for the keeping the position or for better positions. And so the Libra people, they are having some problems about their families, about their landlords, changing home, and this kind of things last few years. So on Friday, last prayer, night prayer, they should call the Lord of the universe with Basit Latif and Malikul Mulk as well. Malikul Mulk is also protecting the property, what we have in our hands. And Scorpio, you know, They are very silent about their problems. They don't like speaking about their problems, and that is why they sometimes find the solutions difficultly. They feel themselves very alone. So I request the Scorpio people trying to create solutions and when they started education, they should follow discipline very much. So on Thursday between between 1 and 1 o'clock at noon and 3 o'clock, they should call the name of God with Hadi Esma. Hadi, Rashid Esmas are important, and also Basit Fattah Latif, the secondly coming Esmas for the situation. And lastly, I request them to be careful about what they speak, what they say, because they may be misunderstood in following 2 months long. So I request them to be careful while they are having conversations in the crowd or in family atmosphere. And Sagittarius. Sagittarius lived very difficult times between 2015 and 2017, and they had lived very hard days economically right after 2017. But in 2018, the Jupiter started movements in Sagittarius, and they started healing themselves slowly. And I have a good news for Sagittarius people. 2020 will be great for them economically, and I request them to recite Samet Kerim Gani Esmas, and also whenever they earn, I request them to share it with the orphan children and also widowed poor women. Of course, this is my general advice for you. This is the basic, zakah, sadaqah, and this kind of orders of Islam for keeping the peace in the society. So we should help each other. And Ashraf hours, these hours are also helping us what time we should do this, what period we should do this. The Islamic astrology is giving an advantage about the energy of the planets and understanding it and seeing the signs. According to that, doing this zakah, infaq, and also sadaqah. These 3 terms are about helping the poor people, helping any helpless person around us. And when we look at Capricorn, yes, since 2017, the Capricorn lived very tough days, and suddenly they didn't understand what's really going on, and they were caught by the storms of the difficult atmosphere. And but I have good news for them. Since 2017, you lived very hard days, and life came with the swords to you, and some of you didn't have shields to defend yourselves. But in 2020, inshallah, things will be getting better, and I request you in 2020, get ready for the wonderful opportunities. This is going to affect your life, inshallah. And what about the lunar eclipse? Of course, this lunar eclipse will affect you these following 2 years till, two months till March. And till March, I request you to be careful about your marriage, about your yearly plan. Just like Cancer, take a pen and paper, write about your plans in 2020 and 2021. And try to follow it, what you are doing, what you are not doing. This is very important point for you, and for the world trade is going to be getting better in 2020, inshallah. And some of the astrologers are very pessimistic about that, just because of the positions of Pluto and the Saturn, but I'm not pessimistic, because Islam and Islamic astrology has no pessimism, because asmas are above the planets. This is the difference in between Islamic astrology and the other astrologies. Okay, we are talking about now Aquarius. Aquarius, please listen to me very carefully, because your life test is coming to you in 2021. Saturn will visit your house, your place, and you will be tested in any kind of difficulties. So, are you helpless? No. What are you going to do? You should be very patient first. Secondly, you should think detailedly and carefully before taking an action. And thirdly, you should call the gods always, Basit, Fattah, Latif. This is the important point. And the fourth point, you should, whenever you have opportunity, I request you to help any orphan around of you, any poor neighbor around of you, even your smile, your talking. This is also an important thing. Even if you don't have anything, you must increase your relations, because this is going to open a wonderful gates for you if you listen to me. But if you don't listen to me, the worst years of your life are coming. And Pisces, I'm also Pisces, and my ascendant is Cancer. And what I can say about this eclipse, the Pisces is going to get interested in children and about the people who they love. And they're going to try to solve the problems of their kids these periods, and especially the most loved one. And I request Pisces people, so Friday or Wednesday evening prayer is very important to call the God with Shafi and Hafiz for the kids. And for solving the problems with Qayyum and Kavi, Alim and Hakim Asmas, I request you to write everything about the problems of the kids and try to solve it one by one, slowly. This is going to be great for you, and you're going to feel yourself very comfortable if you listen what I told you. And that's all for today. In 2020, I wish you a wonderful year. And I hope 2020 will be great for Turkey, for Africa, and for African friends. And we are greeting you from studios in Ankara. Thank you very much for being with us, and please stay with us and follow our programs on our social media accounts. Goodbye.